Hey, welcome. So, most of us think we have a pretty good handle on the story of Jesus, right? But what if I told you the source material we're digging into today reveals this massive, universe-spanning prequel, an epic journey that happened long, long before he ever set foot on our world? Seriously, this story kind of reframes everything.
All right, so let's just jump right in. To really get what's going on here, to understand the life of Jesus in this context, we've got to first understand the mission of a being the sources call Christ Michael. And it's not just about his mission, it's about a cosmic law he had to fulfill. This wasn't just a good idea, it was a universal mandate.
You know, the key to this whole thing, the absolute linchpin, is a concept called a bestowal. Now, what is that? Well, think of it as a creator's ultimate act of empathy. It's about literally living the exact lives they've created for others, to truly, deeply understand them. And by doing that, they earn the right to rule. It's like the ultimate walk a mile in their shoes scenario, but on a cosmic scale.
And get this wasn't just some noble choice he made. Nope, it was a fundamental law of the cosmos. The sources call it a mandate, straight from the divine center, a place they call paradise, and it applies to all beings of Michael's order. It's kind of like a required part of the job description if you're going to create and rule your own universe.
So let's talk about scale for a second, because it is absolutely immense. Our creator's son, Michael, he's just one of 700,000 others just like him. And each one is creating and managing their own local universe. I mean, just let that sink in. That's 700,000 cosmic journeys, just like the one we're talking about, all unfolding at the same time.
And every single one of them, every single one, has to go through a 7-stage bestowal process. It's this incredible journey through 7 different forms of life. And the whole point? It's designed to forge a ruler who can govern not just with power, but with perfect empathy and wisdom. It's about building a better leader from the ground up.
Okay, so let's focus in on Michael's specific journey now and see how this all builds up. Because before he ever even considered our tiny little world, he'd already completed 6 of these incredible universe-shaping missions. He was already a seasoned veteran, you could say.
Now, what you're seeing here is a very deliberate, almost educational progression. According to the source material, you've got the Paradise Trinity. That's the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. They're the prime deities. And with each bestowal, each mission, Michael had to operate under a different combination of their divine will. So you can see it's basically a cosmic training program. It was teaching him how to perfectly reflect all these different facets of divinity, while at the very same time understanding life from the bottom up.
So, after nailing 6 of these super demanding trials, Michael had a choice to make. He had to pick a location for his 7th and final bestowal. And this one was different. This time, he would be subject only to the direct will of the Universal Father, no other divine influences.
I mean, think about it. He could have chosen any world in his vast universe. So why us? Why did he choose our planet? The sources call our world Urantia, and they describe it as a small, isolated planet with a well-documented history of trouble. So the big question is, why come here for the grand finale?
Well, the sources are crystal clear on this. Michael chose our world precisely because of its challenges. You can see here, our planet had been scarred by these major spiritual rebellions. It was literally described as disordered and disturbed. So he didn't avoid the mess, he flew straight into it. And that history of trouble, that's what made it the perfect proving ground for his final and most difficult test.
And this is what so brilliantly sets up the central drama of his final mission. It was designed from the get-go to be fundamentally different and way, way more difficult than anything he had ever experienced before.
Okay, so here's the crucial point. Look at this stark difference. In his first 6 missions, he shows up as a powerful, fully formed being, right? All his faculties intact. But for his final test, here on our world, he would start with absolutely nothing. He'd appear as a vulnerable, completely helpless human baby.
Even his own cosmic advisor, a being the sources call Immanuel, basically told him, hey, this is going to be a new and untried experience for you. He acknowledged just how incredibly difficult this mission was going to be. This wasn't just another appearance. No, this was a complete incarnation. It was about paying the full price, experiencing life from the ground up, just like one of us.
So you have to ask, why? Why undertake such a perilous final mission? What was the cosmic payoff here? What did this incredible sacrifice actually achieve for Michael,
for his entire universe, and, yeah, for us, living on this small planet.
Well, this whole journey served two grand purposes. First, it was to complete his own education as a ruler, by really gaining the creature's perspective. And second, it was to become the perfect, living reflection of universal authority right here in our little corner of the cosmos.
And you know what's really wild? His experience wasn't just for him. It became one piece of a much larger puzzle. We're talking nearly 4.9 million of these bestowal experiences from all 700,000 creator sons. The sources say that all these lived experiences, they actually combine to form the consciousness of an evolving, finite God they call the Supreme Being. So in a very real way, his personal journey helped build a bigger, collective divinity.
So, by completing this incredible 7-stage journey, Michael's right to rule was forged in real, lived experience, not just asserted by some divine right. His authority became absolute. Why? Because it perfectly embodied both the highest divine perspective and the nitty-gritty mortal experience of his creatures. He totally earned it.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? This whole incredible cosmic odyssey, this 7-stage forging of a supreme sovereign, all of it culminated in the birth of a single child on our troubled and, let's face it, seemingly insignificant world. So knowing all of that, knowing the full 7-stage cosmic quest that came before it all, really understanding the supreme sovereignty he was literally forging through his own experience, how does that change the meaning of the life he lived here on our world? Now that is the question this explainer leaves us with.